been a struggle so far to try to seat a jury in the case of Justin Ross Harris. Harris is the dad whose 22-month-old son, Cooper, died in the back of his hot car. He's charged with murder. Harris has pled not guilty. Just yesterday, 4 potential jurors were already excused. Why? Some believe Justin Ross Harris is guilty. There's still a few hundred more that may be questioned. Can Harris get a fair trial? And check this out. As court is getting underway today, Justin Ross Harris fist bumps his attorney. Would he do this in front of a jury? The jury in question that is possibly going to take weeks to get together, it seems like. Joining me now, HL legal analyst and defense attorney Philip Holloway. Philip, you were a DA in Cobb County. You worked underneath this judge, so you have a lot of good insider info on this entire case. We know that there are 8 potential jurors in this pool right now, but how many do you think actually need to be ultimately seated?
I think ultimately they're going to need to get somewhere north of 35, probably 40. The absolute bare minimum is 34. That's assuming only 2 alternates. My guess is that probably will take about 4 alternates. And then you always have to make some account for people who may get sick or things that might come up that require you to have a little bit more of a buffer zone. So I think 35 to 40. How
long could that actually take? I mean, we've gone 5 days and we have 8 potential jurors, and we got to get 40?
Well, it's going faster now. The first few days were taken up with filling out the juror questionnaire and things kind of get started. But now that the pace seems to have quickened, the process is going obviously more smoothly. There's been a number of jurors questioned today, and then once a certain number have been questioned, they will pause, and the lawyers will discuss whether or not they want to strike any of these jurors for cause because they may have expressed and formed some opinion already on the case.
Okay, so let's go there. So we have the pool. Let's say we have this 40 pool. Prosecution and defense can each take out 9 jurors each. What are some of the reasons they could use to whittle that down?
When we're talking about peremptory strikes, those are strikes that they can use literally for any reason. It can be just based on a hunch. The only thing is it cannot be based on something discriminatory like your ethnicity, your race, or your gender. But other than that, lawyers can strike a juror for potentially anything they want to.
So what's an example of a hunch?
Well, if somebody looks at you funny during your questioning of them and they just maybe glare at you and you just kind of get a sense, hey, I don't think this person really likes me, I may just go ahead and get rid of them. It could literally be anything.
All right, let's talk about this questionnaire. 17 pages that these potential jurors have to fill out. Some of the things on this questionnaire: do you watch Nancy Grace? Do you watch Dr. Drew? Do you watch porn? Is anyone you know a sex addict? Are you surprised by some of these questions? And the length of it, really, so extensive.
I'm not really surprised by the length, and I'm not surprised by the nature of the questions, Yasmin, because in a case like this is the subject matter, and you've got to find out what people's thoughts are about the subject matter, what opinions they may hold, so that when you do exercise those peremptory strikes, you use them wisely and you pick a juror that's more likely to be able to be swayed to your side than somebody else.
If a juror thinks Ross Harris is guilty, is he automatically disqualified?
If a juror has an opinion that he is guilty and they cannot be moved off of that opinion, in other words, if they cannot base their decision in the jury room based solely on what they hear in the courtroom, then the judge should excuse them for cause, and she did that yesterday with a few.
So if a juror says, look, I kind of am leaning towards the fact that I think this guy is guilty, but I want to listen to the case because there could be circumstances that could change my mind, then that person wouldn't necessarily be disqualified from the get-go.
A person can have an opinion, it's just they can't have an opinion that is so unmovable and that there's nothing you can do that will change their mind. We had a juror this morning that said that. They said, look, I've got an opinion, and nothing at all will change it. They haven't gotten to the point yet to where either side can ask to remove him for cause, but I can promise you that's coming.
Philip Holloway, thank you so much for joining us. By the way, keep it here for all the latest in the hot car death trial. A reminder, we're going to carry opening statements live right here on HLN. Thank you for joining us, everybody, on HLN today. Have a fantastic weekend. We'll see you Monday.